Hello everyone, welcome to Java Code. In this class, we are learning about variables in Java. So in Java, everything starts with the data, right? To store and use the data, Java provides variables. To store and use the data, Java provides the variables. A variable is a container used to store the values. Each variable has data type, variable name, and values. What is the syntax of the variable? Data type, variable name, and value. So here I have given the example, right? Int age equal to 20. Here int is the data type and variable is the age, and here I am assigning some value, that is 20. Here int age equal to 20. Here I have declared the variable. Okay, this is the declaration of the variable. A variable is a container used to store the values. So why we need variables? Why we need variables? To store the user input and perform calculations, reuse the values, and to make the program dynamic. To store the user input, perform calculations, and to reuse the values, and to make the program dynamic. So here are the three types of variables are there in Java. So first one is local variables, and second one is instance variables, and third one is static variables. Local variables, instance variables, and static variables. Let me say an example, real-time example. Suppose a student is there. A student is going to write an exam. A student is going to write an exam. The student is using some desk and writing the exam. Here, the student is using the desk. That is using the desk and writing the exam, and he left the school. That is here disk is a temporary the student is used disk as a temporarily. So the local variables are, so it is said to be a local variable. So the disk is said to be a local variable. So these are used for the temporary purpose. Next one is instance variable. The student is having some textbooks, notebooks, that is a college bag. So it is said to be instance variable. So it is said to be instance variables. Next one is the students having the some school name, right? School name or college name. This student having the school name or college name. So it is said to be static variable. It is said to be static variable. So come to local variables. Local variables are the variables which are declared inside the method or inside the block. Local variables are the variables which are declared inside the method or inside the block. Those said to be local variables. The scope of the local variables are limited. So the scope of the variables are limited to that block only. So it must be. In these local variables, the values must be assigned to a variable. That is must be initialized. Values must be initialized. It is stored in a stack memory. Local variables are stored in stack memory. So the memory for local variables, the memory will be allocated at the compile time. Memory will be allocated at the compile time, and it is very fast. It is very fast, and it is used for the temporarily, and it is used for temporary used. Once the variable is used and it is thrown away. Once the variable is used and it is thrown away. Next one is instance variables. Instance variable are the variables which are declared inside the class and outside the methods are said to be instance variables, and it is belong to an same object. In these default values are provided. Suppose I am declaring an instance variable, I am not assigning any value. Even though I am assigning or not assigning, it takes the default values provided by the Java compiler. It takes the default values provided by the Java compiler. And each object in instance variable has the separate object. Each object has a separate objects. So these are stored in heap area. These are stored in a heap area. The instance variables are located, memory allocated will be done during the runtime. For instance variables, the memory allocated will be during the runtime. So it is slower than the stack. It is slower than the stack and it is managed by the garbage collector. Heap area will be managed by the garbage collector. The garbage collector in the sense it once the variable is used, it removes the variable. That is garbage collector. It removes the unwanted data. It removes the unwanted data. Next one is static variable. A static variable is a variable declared using the keyword called static. If we are declaring a variable with using a static keyword, then it is said to be static variable. So it is shared among the all the objects. It is shared among the all the objects, and the memory will be allocated only once. For static variables, the memory will be allocated only once, and it is belong to the same class. In these, the static variables are stored in method area. Static variables are stored in method area. That is, it stores the static variables, method codes, and constructors, and it is loaded once when the class is loaded. The static variables are loaded once when the class is loaded. So hence, stack is for execution and heap is for objects and method area is for class information. Stack is for execution, heap is for objects, and method area is for storing class information. Okay, let me say an example. Here I am creating a class. Let me say an example, then you will understand it clearly. Here I am creating a class called memory demo. Here I am creating class called memory demo. So here I have declared the class that is with the name memory demo. And I am declaring a variable that is static string college name equal to, I am giving some value that is Vivekananda College. So here I have declared the static variable with the using static keyword. It is a static variable, and here I have declared the data type and variable name, and I am assigning some value. Okay, it is said to be static variable. Static variable. Okay, here I have declared static variable that is college name equal to Vivekananda. Next, I am creating int student ID. Here I have declared the student ID and string student name. These are the instance variable which are declared inside the class and outside the method. These are said to be instance variables. Instance variables. Okay, I have declared the static variable and instance variables. So I am declaring one method that is void display. Declaring one method that is void display. In this display method, I am going to declare a local variable that is int marks equal to, am I saying 99 marks. Okay. Here I have declared the local variable. It is local variable inside the method. If we declare a variable inside the method, then it is said to be local variable. Okay. So now I want to access these variables. This college name, student ID, name, student ID, and last one is marks. Okay, I have declared here in println statements, I have written college name, student ID, and student name and marks. So in main method, I am creating object for the class. That is memory demo M1, that is reference variable, equal to new memory demo. So here I have created the object for the class. So now I am accessing the variables. That is M1 dot student ID, student ID equal to 101. Okay. Next one, M1 dot, I want to access the name, right? Student name. That is student name equal to Krishna. Okay. Next, I want to access the marks. So for that purpose, here I have declared the method for accessing the marks. That is M1 dot display. Here I have mentioned display. So I am saving this program. I am running this application. So here I have got the college name equal to Vivekananda College, student ID equal to 101, and student name is Krishna, and marks are 99 marks. So a variable which is declared inside the method, inside the class, and outside the method is said to be instance variable. The student name and student ID are the instance variables, and a variable declared with using static keyword, it is said to be static variable. It is said to be static variable. And a variable declared inside the method, inside the class, it is said to be local variable. It is said to be local variables. So I hope you understood very well what are variables. This is the program for the variables. So there are three types of variables: local variables, instance variables, and static variables. These are used to store user input and perform calculations and reuse the values and to make the program dynamic. So hope you understood very well. Thank you.